Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Samantha and today I want to talk to you guys about how to make homemade flaxseed dog biscuits. Flaxseed is a great boost for your dog. It's one of those kind of superfood things that aids in healthy coat and skin and digestion. It's just an overall really great additive to your dog's diet. So today we're going to make some biscuits to make it a lot easier to feed your dog flaxseed. So you are going to start off with some dry ingredients, which I have over here. We're going to make a dough. Then you let your dough sit and you bake your biscuits. The first thing you'll want to do is preheat your oven to 375 degrees. So I'm going to go do that now. Okay, so 375, and then you're going to, actually I'm going to take my rings off. When I make a dough, I like to take my rings off just so they don't get stuff stuck in them. So you're going to take your dry ingredients. You have 1.5 cups of whole wheat flour. And you also have 1.5 cups of bread flour. I have a teaspoon of salt and 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. I also have 4 tablespoons of flaxseed. I use ground flaxseed. You don't have to. That's up to you. That happened to be what I had on hand, so that's what I used. I like to just kind of mix the dry ingredients just to make sure that everything's evenly distributed before I start adding any of the moist ingredients. So now that you have your dry ingredients kind of tossed around in your bowl, you're going to add 3 eggs. I've already cracked my eggs, so oops. And 1 cup of oil. I use olive oil. You can just use vegetable oil if that's what you have on hand. So I chose olive oil. It's a little bit healthier than vegetable oil. And then you're going to mix these together until it forms kind of, starts to form kind of a doughy texture. You don't want to completely mix it, just until the flour kind of starts soaking into all those wet ingredients, and you pop the yolks of the eggs and that kind of stuff. But you don't have to fully mix it, because with one more ingredient you'll notice it gets pretty stiff because it's really dry. And then in this bowl I have 1 cup of water, and I also have 1/3 cup of dry milk, and I'm going to mix those two and dissolve the dry milk into the water before adding it. No, cats don't need dog treats. So I have 1/3 cup of dry milk mixed with my 1 cup of water. Go ahead and add that in. No. This is what happens when you have a multi-pet household. Things get a little crazy, especially when you're cooking. I guess he's going to stay there. She's going to stay there. This is our little cat Elsa, who we just rescued, and Elsa loves to eat. So you're just going to mix that all together until you get a nice dough. The dough might be a little bit sticky, and if it is, all you have to do is add a little bit more flour. I usually add the wheat flour or the bread flour. It doesn't really matter in this case. I guess usually you only have 1 type of flour. We have cats everywhere today. So you're going to mix it up. If it's a little bit sticky, add a little bit more flour. And once you have a nice dough that's a good consistency, you can go ahead and let it sit for about 20 minutes. Just throw a towel over the bowl and let it sit for about 20 minutes, and that'll let everything mix and blend nicely. It'll be a nice smooth dough after that. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mixing this. I'll let it sit and I'll be right back. Once you have your dough made and you've set it aside for about 20 minutes, you're going to take a parchment paper or wax paper lined cookie sheet, get that all ready. Again, your oven's preheated to 375, it should be. Then you're going to take your dough and using a floured surface, so just sprinkle a little bit of flour kind of all around your countertop, and you're going to roll out the dough until it's about 1/4 of an inch thick. You don't want the cookies to be really thick because the thicker they are, the longer they'll take to cook. So if you have some thick and some thin, or if you have them really, really thick, they may not cook all the way through. So take the time to roll that out really evenly. And then, whoops, I need a little bit more flour, I think. I actually also, when the camera was off, I added about 3 tablespoons of extra flour to my dough just to make it so it was a little bit less sticky. And like I said, that's kind of your personal preference. As you bake more, you'll start to kind of realize the dough consistency that you like to work with. So once it's floured, you just roll it out. Like I said, 1/2 inch is pretty thick. So I usually go for about 1/4 of an inch, and just make sure it's all even. Some people forget the middle as you kind of roll out the edges and get those to the width that you want. You sort of forget that there might be some areas in the middle that aren't rolled thin enough. So once you get it rolled out, you can use cookie cutters. You can just use a butter knife if you want to cut it into like squares or different shapes. Your dog's not going to care because they all taste the same. Usually we use fancier, I guess, cookie cutters, but just like dog-shaped cookie cutters or dog paw prints or something if we're giving treats away, homemade treats as a gift. But just to use at our house, I usually just cut mine with a butter knife or anything that you have. A small glass would work fine. Anything that will cut and make little shapes for you. So I'm going to go ahead and make a few of these with the cutter. And then I'll show you how easy it is with a butter knife. A butter knife goes a lot faster, and if you've used cookie cutters before, you know you always get that like extra in between the cookie cutters. So you have to re-roll the dough and cut again. And so like I said, if we're doing them for treats, I do that. But if we're just doing them for our in-home use, I use a butter knife. The other thing that I like about it is that we have a small dog and 2 large breeds. So I can cut some larger cookies like this, and then I can cut some smaller cookies like this for our different dogs. And then you just lay those on your wax paper or your parchment paper lined cookie sheet, and you want to bake them at 375 for about 40 minutes. You'll notice they'll kind of start to crack a little bit, and they'll start to turn a nice golden brown color when they're done. So you'll notice when they're finished. So I'm not going to make you guys watch me do this, but if you have any other questions or you're looking for any particular recipes, feel free to send me an email, samantha@topdogtips.com. You can check out our website, topdogtips.com, for more recipes. Also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, of course our YouTube channel. We're all over social media, so you can check those out and subscribe there, and you will be sent all my latest recipes. I post 1 a week of homemade dog treats or homemade dog food. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe for flaxseed dog biscuits, and I will see you guys next week. Thanks.